Okay, family, welcome back to the show. You know who I am, and you know who this is. I'm Mel, and this is
JC.
boys and girls. So as you know, there is not gonna be a card this week, but instead, we're gonna be dissecting, and we're gonna be talking about the GOAT debate. Yes, and we've been waiting to talk about that, fellas. There's a couple of people, if you saw the thumbnail, and I missed at least one person, and that's Anderson Silva. But we decided at that point we were gonna have those four, and then we couldn't agree with the with the editor and whatever. So we just decided he's gonna go with that. No disrespect to Anderson Silva, we do believe he is one of the GOATs for sure. And but we're gonna start talking about that. So JC, who do you want to start with?
I would like to talk first someone that people don't give it the love that he deserves. And you know who I am talking about. Henry Cejudo.
Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
The Green.
Yeah.
The Green Master.
Triple C.
Yeah, Triple C.
People don't give it the love that that guy deserves. Like this guy that not much so people know that this guy was a Olympic medalist, gold Olympic medalist in
Really
wrestling.
young in wrestling.
And was the
really
first
young.
one in the United States that won a medal in gold medal.
Gold medal, fellas.
So that tell you like the discipline that you have to be a Olympic.
And that young, dude, he was really young when he got it, bro. Like usually an Olympic medalist usually gets that type of
Like
medal,
30,
like a 30,
yeah.
something like that, right?
He
But that
was like
this guy
20
was
something.
21, some
Yeah,
crap like that.
he's like the the youngest. So you know, and after that he went to do MMA and he became champion in two different divisions. So that's crazy, you know, like that's something that you have to take respect of. And also, I was watching his Instagram today, and he's preparing himself to go. I don't know if going back to 135 or go to get the 145 that he wants against Volkanovski.
Oh, Volkanovski.
If
You're
this
in
guy-
serious trouble, my man.
If this guy won another title in another division, there is no more conversation. There's no
There
conversation.
shouldn't be any other conversation.
Yeah.
Listen, I
Three
know.
different titles.
Yeah.
I'm an Olympic medalist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and it's a fashion that he has taken out the guys that have come to fight
Did
this
you
guy.
remember when you showed me the fight against Dillashaw?
TJ
And he
Dillashaw.
was an underdog. We saw it.
He
Plus
was-
160.
Plus
160.
TJ Dillashaw wasn't the juicer. We all
Yeah.
know that shit.
Yeah.
We all know
And
this.
he was in
Yeah,
juice.
and he wasn't juicing. What I'm saying, he was juiced up. He was juiced up to the balls, baby. But here comes Cejudo. I know, fellas, that a lot of you do not like him because the way that he projects himself.
talks.
But he is a
yeah.
winner.
And his mentality that he has been training champions now. So
We gotta give credit where it's due.
yeah,
The man.
yeah. People like usually they say John Jones, Kavia, St. Pierre.
Nah,
They don't
they're
mention.
completely forgetting about
Yeah.
what Cejudo has done, dude.
Yeah.
The way he has taken
Cejudo.
the way he has taken every single of his opponents down, like everybody was saying, Dillashaw is gonna be, you know, he's gonna whoop his ass and this and that.
No.
Along comes Dillashaw, bing bam bada boom, bye bye TJ
First
Dillashaw. He said he was getting up too.
Yeah.
But then there's another guy who said I was getting up too. Dominic Cruz.
Did you remember we were watching the fight?
I was watching that fight, man.
We
Listen.
were watching it over here.
Yeah, we were watching it over here, and listen, the way he dominated Dominic Cruz, I don't care if Dominic Cruz is watching this. Listen, my man, you got dominated. You gotta watch that tape and acknowledge that man was better than you that night, and possibly better than you today too, and ever. That man was. Cejudo, man, he deserves to be in that.
He's scary.
He's a scary individual. If he comes back now and he takes a third title in another division,
That's all.
to me, he will be the top of the food chain. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, no
Right.
complaints.
And he has also an amazing fucking trainer. Have you guys seen that guy? When he trains somebody, they usually freaking win.
And Whaley was really close to beat the.
Yeah, but she put up an amazing goddamn fight.
And he trained also Jiri Prochazka that we will see in 2
Oh
weeks.
my god.
I hope that his takedown defense is good.
Yep.
I hope so.
I'm worried about that fight.
Yeah, if he doesn't like defend himself against takedowns, he's dead.
Now the other GOAT that we want to talk about, and I've been thinking about this one because I mean, he's got only a few fights, UFC fights under his belt, but the way that and I'm talking about Khabib Nurmagomedov,
Yeah.
the way he has taken out the guys that were supposed to be dangerous, he just made it seem easy, easy peasy. The one he said the one that gave him the most trouble was actually Conor McGregor, and he was honest. He said he hit me one time, and I didn't like it, but still he made Conor McGregor like he was a baby,
Yeah.
a complete,
And he submitted.
and he submitted him easily, no problem. Listen,
And
if
I
that
remember he had a show with Khabib the other day that the people were asking like, no, Conor said that he's so tough and she wouldn't have like tapped, she wouldn't have to go to sleep, you know, like if you're so tough, why you tap? He was saying that. Yeah.
yeah, but listen, I was watching Khabib talking, and they asking, hey, listen, you know, honestly, honestly, who was your toughest opponent? Your later, he said, McGregor was, because that's when
Right.
one time that
I know.
he was putting pressure.
But you know,
and
like I
he
don't
said
think
it was
that
more mental. He said it was more mental
that
than it was physical.
But
Because
if I tell you something,
McGregor did a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
but I don't think that McGregor trained for that fight.
I believe it. I believe
He
it.
came out from the Mayweather
But
fight.
still,
He
man,
was
but still,
drinking.
but still,
But if I tell you, like in that moment, if Conor like trained more and he was like really in the game, I think that he could have taken from Khabib because in the
Maybe.
past no one could have taken it down, you know.
The dude was amazing, bro.
And his left is the best in the game. Like the left.
His striking, back in the his accuracy, but
Yeah.
but let's stay on Khabib. Let's stay on Khabib. I want to talk about McGregor too, but I want to stay on Khabib. If this young man would not have retired because of his dad dying, and rest in peace, Mr. Nurmagomedov, I guarantee you that Khabib will still be winning and will definitely be at the top of the food chain along with all these guys.
Do you think that
Probably
Oliveira has a chance with him? No. In the ground.
Oliveira.
Yeah.
Listen, Oliveira, I don't know. It's just Khabib.
It is different.
Khabib just retired. Oliveira is very different than Khabib. He has taken more punishment.
No,
But
and also
Khabib-
what Khabib was saying that when you do jiu-jitsu with the Dagestani wrestling, it's not the same. Like the position these guys are on top of you is different. Like they get on top, they don't give you your back. And also remember this guy practiced sambo in the past,
Yeah.
and sambo helped him.
I think Oliveira does have a chance, but remember, it's
We
not-
will see you against Makachev. It will be almost the same.
It'll be
It's
almost
not
the same. People are saying like Magachev is like a quote unquote better version of Khabib. They haven't given Magachev.
I think that he has more striking, but not better wrestler. Not better wrestling.
I believe the same thing.
The wrestler, I think that he's the GOAT in wrestling.
Yeah,
Or
for
do you,
sure.
or do you think that
No,
someone
no,
is
for
better
sure.
in the history of the sport?
In the
He's not
history
a wrestler.
of the sport, I think Khabib is like
The best wrestler.
the top of food chain.
And the best jiu-jitsu, Oliveira or Chamber, the guy that take to the ground that you always said. That,
Royce Gracie.
yeah, he is the best jiu-jitsu.
Oliveira has to do a lot more than that. I think
Bro, this guy has 12 submissions, the most
know,
in the
I know, but
UFC
Royce-
history.
Royce Gracie is just the craziest son of a bitch you will ever fucking see. You need to watch.
Bro, I
him.
have never seen someone do the dark horse in the
You
air,
need,
bro.
you need to see that guy. But that guy, remember, that guy will give an advantage to his opponent. He will not come with the choice to fight. He will come with the whole kimono.
Oh, yeah.
The whole kimono,
You
which
can-
you
you can-
can
you can
actually
grab
grab him and all of that.
Yeah.
It was crazy how this guy. We're gonna watch. We're gonna talk about him one day for sure. We're gonna dedicate a segment to that son of a bitch. Listen, respect to that guy. Now, I do believe that Khabib is definitely the GOAT conversation. It's just a shame that he just retired too soon to what happened to his dad. We couldn't just see what else was gonna happen on his chapter. And
Yeah, he was really dominant with all the fights. That he
easily,
had.
easily,
Yeah.
easily. And what's the next one you want to talk about?
St. Peter.
Saint Pierre. We're gonna talk about Saint
Yeah,
Pierre.
if you saw the video that we dedicated of him, like I was really impressed. Like I haven't watched the videos till we do the video of him, like his fight, and he was really dominant. But he was winning so much about decision. He was winning so many
but
decisions.
that's true. Pierre could actually trade blows with anybody, but he was not qualified.
He has good wrestling.
He has an amazing
Yeah,
wrestling.
it was so, like, he took down everyone.
and he knew how to take.
Yeah, like get the back. I I
He
saw
knew how
a
to
fight
get the
with
back.
Condi. With Condi that
he
he was
knew
on
how-
the ground and he
Yeah.
turned.
He also knew how to get out of a sticky situation, even when if they would take him down, how quickly that guy would get out. They used to call him the greasy monkey for a reason.
Greasy monkey.
Greasy monkey, because fighters said like he would just get out of that situation like that. And I grew up watching Pierre. I was in my teen years. I was like 18, 20. And Jesus Christ, the level of competition this man fought. I think he won 13 title defenses. He lost the title once, and then when he got it back to the same person, that same person that beat him, by the way, he went back at that guy. I think it was Macera. Macera knocked him out because he was being courteous.
That was Bisping.
And then no, Bisping. I think they only fought like once. But I'm not
Bisping,
really sure. I'm not really sure.
Bisping was champion when they fought, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah, one day we're
fought
gonna talk about Bisping, and I for sure would say that
we fought
Bisping
all night. Like the courage that you
Was
have
this-
to hide on the balls.
was the toughest fighter that I've ever seen in the UFC.
We
The
fought
toughest.
nine.
What I mean by the toughest was like the guy who could take a lot of punishment, and especially fighting with one eye. You're
Yeah,
fighting
like
disabled, and this
this-
guy had the title, dude.
You can see like this part, like
Mhm.
that's crazy.
So Pierre faced such a level of competition. He faced the likes of Jake Shields.
Yeah, something
Johnny
that
Hendricks.
I think that he's in the conversation is because how many fights did he
Title
won?
difference is
Yeah,
like 13 title
13,
difference.
that's crazy.
That's just level it. And he has like 27 fights in the UFC. One. Shit. That's
crazy.
a lot. That's
crazy.
a lot. That's a lot to digest.
That's the problem with Khabib, that he only has like 7.
That's what I was saying. Like he retired too soon. Like he has it. The man has. And you know what? Khabib kind of reminds me in a way of St. Pierre. St. Pierre has striking too. Khabib has it too. But he's not a knockout artist. He has power,
Yeah.
but
He's a submission.
he's a submission artist. It is what it is. And he reminds me so much of Pierre, but I think he's a better version when it comes to the ground than Pierre in that department. So, Pierre was just an amazing human being when it comes to fighting, because there's so many fights of him bleeding and his opponent bleeding at the same time, and he was still taking it to the guy. He was not backing out to the edge of the cage. No, he was still trading blows and taking him down. You guys gotta watch that. You guys go ahead and type it up. Type on YouTube, George St. Pierre, craziest fights, something. Watch our video too, where you're gonna see other videos in there. Watch his history, his documentary. You guys are gonna know who this guy is. Now the guy that we want to talk about.
Yeah, that's my guy. John Bones Jones.
John Bonnie Jones, man.
The youngest UFC champion in the history of the promotion. The most dominant. He was like 10 years without losing, and he said that when he retired for the sport was because no one have like competition with him.
Yeah, like
He
nobody
left.
beat him. Pretty
Yeah.
much, he never.
He left. I think that if he's not better, it's because he didn't have like pressure to train more, because he was in a level that no one was. What you gonna train and put pressure on you if no one can pressure on him? You know? And he become lazy, I think. Then he came back and he beat the ass of Cormier.
He took the belt from Cormier, bro. That was the most. I think that was like the saddest thing to see.
Yeah.
Respect to Cormier, he was a hell of a fighter. But this guy takes a break. Cormier takes the belt from I cannot remember who it is, but once he takes the belt, this motherfucker comes back, fights Cormier again.
Do you think that actually like John Jones trained for that fight? Do you think that he trained for the fight? He said like he was like I knew that I'm gonna beat him. Like I don't care.
You know.
He said that he
John
didn't
can
train.
sometimes actually talk. So I don't know, bro. I think he did train, though. I think he did train. Cormier was not an easy opponent for him, though.
And now he's in heavyweight. I think that he wins the belt in heavyweight too. I think that he's
You close it down. The thing about John Jones is people disqualify him as the GOAT because of all the controversial shit that
with
is
his
his
life.
life.
Yeah, but we have to like
Yeah,
separate the
he-
sport
that-
and their life. We're talking about the sport.
And then he got caught using PhDs, right? At one point, USADA caught him using PhD. But this is the thing: if he was really using PhD, and then they take the PhDs away from you, this is what happens to a fighter when they get caught by USADA. Besides getting suspension, Once they take away the PhD, you're not as strong as before, so you start losing. But what happened with John Jones?
Was the opposite.
He was the complete opposite. He kept on winning. So I don't know if he got caught using like an illegal PhD or something else he took that he shouldn't have and probably didn't have any knowledge about. And then come run the test and he was positive, whatever. But when PhDs are removed from you, you start losing. Look what happened to Vitor Belfort. Vitor Belfort needed them because of his TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, which means his body is not producing enough testosterone, so he needed to take a certain amount of that to be able to feel normal. But once they took it away from him, look what happened. That's not what happened with John Jones. This is not what happened. This is what happened with John Jones. He just kept going.
I think that the only fight that you can take out from John Jones is the Dominic Reyes.
Dominic Reyes did give him a battle that I've never seen.
But maybe he
Gustafsson, the first one did give him a hell of a battle. The first one. The second one, John Jones shaked his head, and as soon as I saw this motherfucker shake his head, I said, this motherfucker is coming to war.
But I think something, like with John Jones, you don't know if he's training or not. Like with all the problems that he has in the past.
So you imagine half the fights that he hasn't been trained properly.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
Imagine that guy
went over there
and still he's considered to be the GOAT, my man. Imagine
if
he was training.
That's what I'm telling you. Like the potential that guy has, even without training, is the biggest one. That's for me. Like
let me say, his years are cutting out, getting.
But still he's 32. He's super young. Remember that he won the belt with 22 years old. Like has been 10 years and still he's in his prime. And he's training now with Cejudo because remember that he was kicked out from the gym.
We just talk about that guy.
Yeah,
and,
he's training with
another
goat.
With another GOAT.
Yeah, he was living with Cejudo because when he separated with his wife and everything and the kids, he went to live with Cejudo because Cejudo said that he wanted to take under his wing and train and everything. So imagine that guy training all the time with Cejudo. Like the wrestling ability, the mentality, all the things that this guy...
Yeah, good.
If this guy like go again and really wanted to be heavyweight champion, he would be.
If he takes the heavyweight champion, I would never put him up. I would...
It won't be a conversation. Unless
somebody does the same thing, I'll put it like right there, right next to him. But after he takes the heavyweight belt, putting him somebody else above him.
Yeah, there's no one.
Has to be some son of a bitch that's gonna spend like 15 years with the belt and nobody takes it.
Bro, he was like 10 years without.
Yeah.
He left the 205 and he said like, there's no competition over here. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another one that we definitely want to talk about.
Conor.
We're gonna talk about him after this one. We're gonna talk about Anderson Silva.
The spider.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. When Anderson Silva was a champion, the level of intimidation this guy caused to his opponents when they started fighting him was out of this world. This is what I would call the champion intimidating aura. Champion intimidating aura. It's when the opponent is right there in the cage with the champion, and they don't and the adversary does not fight the champion as he was fighting the other guys. It's like he gets completely his energy sucked out by an invisible force. Khabib has the same thing. Look at Gaethje when he fought. A lot of people when they fought Anderson Silva was the same thing. And some of them actually were not trained. They would just go and fight his head on. But this is the thing about Anderson Silva that I keep telling you. See, his head fucking movement.
The problem is like I didn't watch it. I wasn't even born when he was like.
You should watch it. He would taunt the other fighters to try to hit him, right? So they would come at him and start throwing blows. He would just move his head.
Yeah,
and after like 15 blows, they would get completely. You could see the fire was not the same anymore. Like he was broken. Without this guy throwing an actual hit. That thing worked on so many opponents to Anderson Silva, and he would show balls with them. He would be like, and he would just knock people out with one jab, shit like that, one kick to Vitor Belfort. I remember the fight with Vitor Belfort. I wanted Vitor Belfort to win it, but Anderson Silva was just too damn fucking good. with just one kick straight up to his chin. That's it. And the level of competition that Manny faced, look, one of my favorite, Forrest Griffin. Forrest Griffin was a maniac. Everybody thought this motherfucker was nuts. Went against Anderson Silva, he tried to hit him. Anderson Silva had movement out of this fucking planet like Dragon Ball Z Ultra Instinct. No hit. Demoralized. Anderson Silva goes and finishes him. Dude. Listen, the only thing that kind of hurts me about Silva, everything stopped because of the showboating. So he showboated to a little bit to Whiteman, and he started with the head movement, and he was just there a little bit older to that point. And Whiteman caught him with a right.
That his style was to beat him, like with the age.
Yeah, he let his age and too much overconfidence. He was too overconfident. Wyman was a very hungry individual, and he wanted to beat Silva. He didn't let his, what I call his intimidating aura get to him. He was just wanted to, and he had him twice. It's as simple as that. I wouldn't count much for the second fight, but if you kick me in the leg and I check it out and I break your leg because you try to kick me, I win the fight. It's as simple as that. And
that's a technique.
Yeah, so Silva definitely in the GOAT conversation, man. It's a shame that he's just a little bit old now, but still, the things that he's done, it's crazy. You guys need to watch that. You guys need to tap Anderson Silva on the documentary.
We'll
be doing a video about this guy.
Yeah.
Alright. So another guy that we want to talk about the GOAT conversation is definitely Conor
Conor has to be. But the problem with Conor is like after the payday
with Mayweather,
yeah,
that's it.
You know what I think with Conor? Like how he went from nothing to everything. Like he said, yeah, he got everything that he wanted. He didn't have any hungry for the sport anymore. Remember, after the Mayweather fight, he created Proper 12 that made him billionaire. So what is the reason that I keep doing? Like I already showed that I won 2 belts, I was a champion, I have everything, and now I made a boxing when he won, I think that 25 million or 30 million, and then he created a whiskey that made him billionaire. So he's a successful man. If you see like successful, he's the most successful fighter, I think,
UFC
like
fighter,
MMA fighter,
MMA fighter
ever. There's no competition.
I think the only one that not gets close to him, but I would say will be like a second and third. I think it will be George St. Pierre. People don't calculate, but it would not be as close to Conor McGregor. Never. I would say he's just second or third, but he will not be. Listen, Conor McGregor, when it comes to success and money in the MMA community, he is the undisputed. Yeah, he's the undisputed. Yeah. The undisputed GOAT when it comes to financial.
Yeah, financial GOAT.
Financial GOAT MMA, Conor McGregor for sure.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about Conor, his style before.
Yeah.
Dude, the way he was, his stance was like that karate type of stance that he would just jump and confuse his opponents, and his accuracy with the hands. Everybody was saying it back then when they started watching this kid, or watching this man. He's probably older than I am, or a little bit younger, whatever. But they started watching. They said, listen, how fast he hits, how hard he hits, and how accurate this guy is. This guy's gonna be in trouble.
And his body, he was really in shape.
Yeah, when he got to this fight, when he got to this promotion, oh my God. And the way he put things. I know he goes over the line many times, but the way he fucking sells a goddamn fight, like he makes sure you have a horrible time.
Do you remember when Conor said, Kobe good, Nurmagomedov bad? Because when the
he was promoting him a lot.
And he said Kobe good, Nurmagomedov bad. Bro.
No, listen. When you're poking that type of the guy, because I get it. He said a lot of things before the fight with Khabib, and Khabib had a lot to say after that. But then every single time something would pop, something about McGregor, Khabib would say something, and the man was quiet. He was quiet.
Yeah, and Cornel was defending Khabib.
And Khabib, and I get it. He's his body. He's gonna do the same. He would protect him. But then I said, I know one day McGregor's gonna say something. Because I was just surprised for how long McGregor was quiet. Even though Khabib was provoking him left and right, people were saying, "Oh, McGregor is a scared." I'm like, "No, motherfucker.
He's waiting for his opportunity.
He's just holding it in, but he's not gonna hold it in anymore. He's gonna
Whatever.
say, and along comes out, Corbin good fought him back.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he was saying like he's good at cornerback.
Yeah, getting caught out the devil, some kind like that. Oh my God, bro.
Yeah. So wrapping it up. So the GOAT conversation for you. Give it the list for you. Your list. The top three.
The top three.
Yeah, for you in
For
the
me.
order.
Right now, it will be Bones, the first one. The second one would definitely be Pierre, and the third one will be Cejudo. For sure.
For me, it would be Bones, Cejudo, and St. Pierre. The reason that I'm putting Cejudo in front of St. Pierre is because he has two different belts and the gold medalist, bro.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's in the top three. They are over there. I think the only things that can like end this conversation is Cejudo winning the featherweight or John Jones winning the heavyweight. If one of those two win one of the other one, what do you think that I was saying? Like, if Islam loses to Oliveira, okay, the belt, the lightweight belt, and he was saying like maybe the money is not good for Khabib, but maybe the honor of Islam is good to get it back, and he came back and he wins against Oliveira. Do you think that he will be the GOAT or not? If he wins that fight, one more.
If Oliveira keeps doing what he's doing and he keeps beating the crap out of people the way that he's doing it, and then comes Khabib.
They were saying like right now that Oliveira is the GOAT in that division, in lightweight.
He's right now like the toughest opponent in that division for sure. For sure, he's very dangerous. He can take a punch. He can ditch it. This is the thing about Oliveira. He can knock you out. He's good on the ground, and he can take punches.
Yeah.
When you have a fighter that can do all those,
and he's not a quitter anymore. He has
usually, look at the GOAT conversation. While we are talking about here, look at the GOAT conversation. They can take a hit. They have some wrestling or takedown defense, and they can punch. Yeah. All of them. Cejudo, Bones have taken shots before, and a lot. And what's the other one? And Pierre has taken a lot of shots. He's been knocked out once, twice, or thrice, but still he was able to recover many of those.
Yeah, came back, and he won it back.
And he won it. It's as simple as that. So, yeah, Oliveira is a very dangerous guy. So if Oliveira keeps winning and Khabib comes and takes away his food, there's nothing I can say. I'm like, you know what, Khabib, just go stop.
The ego.
Like right there. Because there's no reason that Khabib should come back and beat somebody that's beating the crap out of everybody. That would be hard not to, man. Not to put Khabib over there, bro. Like, seriously. Just like Cejudo takes another belt. Yeah, no, he takes it away from Volkanovski.
But do you think that he has really chance?
Yeah. Look, I give my
respect. I don't think
that
Volkanovski doesn't have the wrestling that
I have my respect to Volkanovski because everybody talks about, no, Volkanovski this, Volkanovski that. But listen, this guy decided to fight when he was a rock-by player.
205.
Not Khabib that was wrestling bears.
When
not Cejudo when he was an Olympian. Yeah. No, this guy was playing rock-by. Probably didn't know much about fighting this, and he said, I feel like I'm tough. Obviously, if you are in rugby, you're obviously tough, but let me learn something. And this guy's here kicking ass left and right. To guys who've been fighting their whole fucking life.
Yeah, he took the belt from Holloway.
From Holloway.
And he put it in the dark. Holloway has never been the same. He's always talking about him.
Yeah. No, I think he's living free right on Holloway's hat.
Yeah. I think that's the reason that Holloway never is gonna beat him because he is in his head so much, right?
Probably.
They're getting the third fight now, the trilogy. Do you think that if Volkanovski wins this fight, yeah, it's over? There is no more conversation in the featherweight division, like between them.
I don't know. Do you imagine Holloway? Okay, Holloway gets let's say he loses the fight.
The third one.
The third one. Holloway keeps on winning.
But there's no one else that is winning.
Exactly.
He has to be him because he's the only one that is kicking the ass off the hell division.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine he keeps on winning.
Do you imagine like 10 fights? There was a meme like they put in both all and 105. Yeah,
I mean, oh my god.
They would keep
I would have
winning
done it. They would be fighting with the canes, bro. With the cane. My bro, ah! All right, fellas, listen. Let's wrap it up. Hopefully, you fellas did have some fun. Let me think what you think about your goal. Who are your goals on your list? So if you got one, if you got two, if you got three, and if you got an order, let us know in the comments so we can definitely respond to you because we really like this topic. And the next one is gonna be a little surprise.
who we're gonna talk about.
Maybe we're gonna be talking about Royce Gracie. I feel
Yeah,
like
first champion.
we should be talking about him. And
Yeah.
then after that guy, I definitely want to do a video about Cejudo.
No, it's John Jones.
I mean, John Jones is coming, but after
Yeah.
after
Okay.
that, I definitely want to do a
Yeah,
video
we're
about
doing a
Cejudo.
video of all the goals.
Yeah, of all the not necessarily. I mean, we're doing the goals, but then we're gonna put.
Yeah, of course,
We're
but
gonna
I'm
do
telling
all
you
the
like how we
content,
start.
like who was the toughest fighter, which is gonna be obvious. This is gonna be Michael Bisping. We're gonna do a little documentary about this guy.
Yeah, he
Alright.
deserved it. Like he lost an eye. That's like
And
real
still-
toughness. Like, and he's not complaining and never
No,
like
bro.
he's crying. He's like
No,
a man.
dude. That guy has the biggest ball on planet Earth.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like he's never complaining. That's something like good.
Alright, so we are wrapping it up, fellas. See you
Catch you
later.
later.
Bye bye.